Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Cindy. I typically do zodiac readings every week, which many of you know, but if you're new to the channel and just you were attracted by the title and what this could be, then welcome. And specifically this reading is for light workers, star seeds, whatever. You know, I'm not a big fan of a lot of those labels and classifications. I do find that defeats the ego more than what it's really supposed to be doing. It's people who are trying to shed some light into the world, trying to allow their light to glow so that it may glow for others and continue that process. And that can be found in so many elements of humanity. That is found in an awful lot of people who have no idea what light workers and starseeds are. And just because they've never heard the label or it's never been applied to them, doesn't mean that it isn't them. I think a lot more people out there are that than even realize. So I was kind of being nudged by my own guides that I needed to start doing a reading like this. I was apprehensive because I feel like I've already taken on quite a bit. I keep adding to the channel, but you know, this is a very unusual time in our history, and I guess, you know, when you got to do what you got to do, you got to do it. And I woke up this morning and I had clarification through something that was going through the media that, yeah, I need to do it, because I feel like some of us who can shine our light are maybe losing our path a little bit. And it happens to all of us. It really does. So I don't want to go into, you know, what I came across in the media, but it was very disheartening to me. And it was showing me that it still exists a big mountain, a big difference in opportunity between the have and the have-not in our world. And I'm not gonna lie, this is about the third time I've tried to make this video, because I am trying to really suppress my own opinions and passion about this. I mean, I do truly believe that people want the best for our world and for each other, but some people do not have the same opportunities to education and choices that many of us do have. And yeah, I just think it's time that maybe some of the light workers out there, I think everyone actually can become a light worker. I think that's the potential, and I think that's the hope for humanity and our planet. So that when we see a culture or a group of people doing something that we think, what we know is not right, because we've been educated and we understand ecosystems, society, civilization, well, we're awfully privileged to have that information, and not everyone does. And to target a group of people because they don't have that opportunity to know better doesn't help lift them up. It actually it continues to make them a target. It continues to suppress them. And anyone else who may visually, because that's what it'll come down to, who on a visual aspect resembles or is that culture. And that is a very scary, scary road to be going down. So as much as I thought I don't know if I'm up to doing another aspect of reading, I'm going to do it. Because I'm being called to do it, and I guess that's what I have to do. So, having said all that, I hope you're still here. Because I do feel quite a bit of importance in terms of trying to shine some light right now. And I want to help you to shine your light. And let's all try to be on the right path. And we're going to know what our path is, because it's not a path that's led by our egos. It's a path that's led from a deeper part of ourselves, that if we get in touch with it, we really know. We really know what the right thing is. I think everyone does know what the right thing is, and sometimes it just gets blurry, right? So I just started working on this last night. I really didn't think that I would, you know, start doing this so soon. So I woke up this morning and here you go. There's that trigger, Cindy. It's time to do it. So bear with me. I'm new to this spread. I'm even new to some of the cards that I'm using. I just ordered them out of the spur of the moment. I thought I'm really drawn to these cards, so I guess it was preparation for this. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to do a reading, and this is about the first part of the reading. There's 3 sections here. What you're being called, or what you're being asked to do or focus on. The next little section will be what you should embrace or move towards to help strengthen this focus, to help grow it for you. The third one is going to be the trickiest one, I think. When I was practicing the spread last night, it was obvious that there was going to be some big things asked of us. So what you should soften your grip on or start to try to change your concept of is what you'll also be asked to do. And those last 2 parts, what you should embrace, what you're being asked to embrace, right? What you are being asked to embrace or move towards, what you should soften your grip on or change your concept of so that you can do what you're being asked to do. You're here for a reason. What is it, right? Is it just to get the most expensive car that you can afford? Is it to maybe smile at your neighbor in the morning when they don't feel like smiling? Like, what is it? Why are you here? There's got to be a reason, so let's find out. And I'm going to be honest, I have a feeling this isn't just going to be a one-time thing. It might be something that I'm called to do weekly, every other week. I don't know. Just when I'm called to do it, I'll do it. I would be surprised if the messages are very heavy, like you need to completely change your life and start doing this. I think it's going to be a bit of a warm-up for you, but let's see. I'm going to get started shuffling. I will tell you, because people are going to ask. So the first deck I'm using is the Oracle of the Fairies. This is a new deck for me. The other one is the Starseed Oracle deck. I will be reading from this book. There's obviously really great information that comes in intuitively from the cards, as well as just artistically too. But the information in the book is important. And then the, oh, I love that this is at the bottom. Death and Rebirth. How wonderful is that? That is, what is that? Oh, that is the Light Seers Tarot. Wow, yeah, isn't that interesting? I never thought about the names of what I'm using, but that's what I was called to do. So let's get started. What are you being asked to do? What you should embrace? And what you should soften your grip on. Your grip on. I can't believe it. The card that came out for what you should soften your grip on is exactly the card that came out last night when I was practicing the spread. So, all right then. We're going to see in a minute. So now I'm going to the Starseed Oracle. It's not, you know what, it's not easy being the conduit. It's not, because I'm, even times when I've done private readings for people, I find that being a reader is a massive responsibility and it should not be taken lightly. And, you know, I'm not asking you to do this. This is just what's coming out. It's really what it is. I can't believe it. The card from the Starseed Oracle that came out for what you're being asked to do is the same card that came out last night when I was practicing this. That's crazy. All right, so the message, I'm at least somewhat familiar with this. Wow. That's an interesting card at the bottom. I'm going to show that to you right now. This is a very humbling image. So the bottom card for the Starseed Oracle is this. I'll let that focus. You can read it. Have you ever seen like images of this, of Earth from space? It is so tiny. It is so tiny and such a vast expanse of nothing. Well, darkness, dark matter, silence, a vacuum of, God, it's a spaceship. It's like this little tiny spaceship that we're all on. When you see us from this perspective, do we not feel like one? Like, what are the differences here? There aren't any. There really aren't any differences about us. We're all in this together and none of us can get off. We can't unless you got a secret ship somewhere. You're not going to get far. And it's about perspective. Okay, this is a big part of it. Protect your dreams is at the bottom here for the Oracle of the Fairies. Protect your dreams. Now, we're going to get into what some of those dreams might be. You are the guardian of your precious dreams and they are safe in your care. Keep them close to your heart until you're ready to release them, which I feel is what this is all about. Is about getting y'all ready to release what your dreams are. And I feel like some of you have dreams that go just beyond, like, for yourself. Dreams of what you would like to see for our world and for each other. Dreams that you would like to see for our children and our children's children. These are the kind of dreams that I think we're going to be looking into, because none of us are getting off here. Like, there it is. It's so tiny, if it would focus. And it's so precious. I mean, I have this belief and this hope that there's more than one planet like this on Earth, or in the universe, that can have life, but we haven't found it yet. There isn't any proof yet. We have not seen proof. I know we get all sorts of people telling me, I read this and here's what. Oh, I believe in all sorts of possibilities. I think, yeah. But it dimensionally, like in this 3D element right here, right now, this is what we got. And nobody's going anywhere. So let's see what we can do to help each other and to help our planet and to help this course that humanity is on. So what you're being asked to do, I'm going to show you all your cards and then I'm going to sit with them for a minute. So these are the two cards that came out. Purity and the Golden Children. Now, the Golden Children, I looked into this last night because I'm telling you, this is the card that came out. But the description of the Golden Children is not what I guess like psychologists would describe as golden children. There's a whole section of golden children. These are kids that are just, you know, really bratty. They've been brought up by narcissistic parents who want everything to focus around their child. That's not what this is about. This, unfortunately, the term that's been used here is the same as what is used in that context, but this is not that context. So purity, always trust in the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart, and within it you will find the answer to your question. That's what you're being asked to do. The Golden Children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. There's two messages for me that come in with that card. So obviously the inner child, and isn't that just amazing for that card to come out with look inside your heart, and within it you will find the answer to your question. Because it is the innocence within you that was here, that's always been here, you know, before society and culture, dogma, ideas, labels, whatever you want to call it, were starting to be, you know, absorbed by you. But I think the whole idea of the absorption is to eventually, you know, you suck that in as a sponge, but then you wring it out at some point. You recognize it's time to wring it out. I've absorbed as much of it as I can as a light worker to understand what the human dynamic is to wring it out, right? So once you wring it out, you're left again with that sponge. And now you can really choose what you want to absorb, but what you want to share with the world too. So I also feel though with the golden children, I've noticed this myself. I can't say that I see auras, but I see things in people. Right away, I feel it. I guess I've been identified as an empath, and I'm sure many of you are. And I had no idea what that was until it was explained to me. And it really made me understand myself so much more, and I understand my experience. So I think on an empathic level, I see people and I'll see their energy, or I'll feel it. I feel energy, and I feel intention. And I've noticed a lot of little kids lately who I feel things from them and I think, oh, there's something about you. Yeah, and I'm feeling more and more of that with, kids. And I'm really starting to believe some of this stuff about starseeds. And, I'm skeptical. For a reader, an empath, I am skeptical. I am, because I just am. Just how that is. But there's definitely something. There's a big shift here, and I think this is an opportunity to open the gates properly for all these little ones coming through. I think we're going to start finding kids with some gifts that, we never thought were even possible, but they have dreams too. They have dreams. And I think some of these dreams, we need to make sure that it is safer for them to live and explore and express these dreams than it ever was for us. And I really feel like our parents and grandparents have created a world where it is like that too. I always think back to, what I'm doing right now. I would have been persecuted a couple hundred years ago. Jeez, even 100 years ago, they might have strung me up from a tree, right? It is getting better. So we have to stay on that course to please continue to make it get better. Shine that light, your inner child, your inner beauty and purity. What you should embrace, or you're being asked to embrace, to move towards this. I'll hold up the cards and I'll read them to you. I'll let you look at them first. Celebration. Get ready to let your hair down and celebrate. It's time to go out and dance and play. An invitation could be on the way. Forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. God, that is my favorite card in the whole deck. In any deck. I say that about you cards, but yeah, right now, this one. I love that. And I've always believed in that so much. Be the leader you wish you had. Be the boss you wish you'd had. Be the parent you wish you'd had. Be the neighbor you wish you'd had. Be the sibling you wish you'd had. There's so many aspects that we can apply this to. And it's about changing the cycle, right? It is about changing the cycle. And the celebration, I find that message is so simple. You can look at it in different ways. What I really like about this card is these two people are very different. One is masculine, one is feminine. One is much taller than the other. One has light hair, one has dark hair. One has sort of, I want to say Mediterranean or olive-like skin, and the other one is very fair, like a redhead, so quite fair skin. The celebration of our uniqueness and how we can grow and learn from each other, what we can teach each other, how we can uplift each other instead of bringing each other down through statements that we believe someone is ignorant or to blame for our misfortune. How can we help to educate them about what we know, but how can we also allow them to educate us about things that we don't know? because they have information and knowledge about things that we don't. They live in different worlds, different cultures, different societies. They could even be living next door to you and have come from a completely different place. And they have things of knowledge in them that you don't know about, you know, because maybe you haven't talked to them. But this is it. And then the celebration too. I had this vision come into my head of just like music that you really like. If you're having a down day, you got to do something like, you got to fold the laundry, you got to vacuum or wash the floors. Yeah, you still got to do that stuff. Put some music on that makes you happy and just find joy in some of the little things that we do in life. Find joy in some of the little things that we do in life. And by doing this, it really does help to bring your spirit up and to be the leader you wish you had. I really think every one of us, that's the key here. To look inside your heart, and within it, you will find the answer to your question. So how can you do that? Is to be the leader you wish you had. If no one in your family or in your friend group or anywhere, you know, is shining their light or believes in, you know, supernatural things like readers or telepaths or fairies or any of that, be the leader. Just do it and see what happens, because you might be surprised how many other people are sitting in that same position as you and they may not feel safe to share it. They may feel like they'll be ridiculed or laughed at or called crazy. I've heard it all. Trust me, I've heard it all. And I don't care anymore, because I have to be me, and I've demonstrated to myself that truly being me is the best course that I can take for my life. And in taking the best course for my life, I actually empower others. I see that. I do see that now. So, and I think that's what it's time to do, is empower yourself so that you can empower others. Forge, don't follow. And it's funny because it brings up, if you know me well, you know, I like when I do my workouts in the morning, I listen to my music, and one of my favorites lately is an older album by Madonna, Candy Shop. And one of the songs in there is, what's it called? I can't remember like the name of the song, but in the lyrics, she talks about don't wait for someone else to do what you can do right now. I love that. Because I'm an Aries. So I'm kind of like that. Like, okay, it's time. I'm just going to do it. Nobody else is doing it. What are they waiting for? What are you waiting for? Don't wait for someone else to do what you can do right now. I think that's one of the best lines in any song. I love it. I really do. And that's a lot of what I get. Forge, don't follow. What can you do right now? Don't wait. This is not a time to wait. And I've been told that. It's like, yeah, you think you've got a lot of readings to do, Cindy? Yeah, just wait. Spirit's got plans here for you. Okay. So, what you should soften your grip on and change your concept of, what you're being asked to, because it's always up to you. And I'm going to explain what message came through for me last night when I was, you know, playing around with this reading. Moon energy, surrender to the natural ebb and flow of life. If you're feeling confused, this fairy comes to calm emotions and reassure you that peace of mind is possible. So welcome to the show. The 7 Star Sisters, Birthing Creations, Tapestry of Life Expression. I'm going to sit for a bit with the 7 Star Sisters, the moon energy. I will specifically go to that right now. So surrender to the natural ebb and flow of life. The message that I got with that is the natural order of how everything is done right now. The way things are. Just surrendering to it. That's just the way we do things. That's the way it should be. That's the way we need to get it going again. That's how it has to be again, because that's the way it was. Was it right? Was it working well? No, it wasn't working well at all. It wasn't working well at all. And, you know, for anyone who's living a sort of a privileged life, and I would put myself in that, absolutely. God, so lucky. I mean, I've had to fight for everything that I have and work very hard for it, but the opportunities were there to do that. There are people living in parts of the world that don't even have that. They are coming from the lowest parts of low, and there's no opportunity to move forward. There is absolutely none. So surrendering to the concept that how life was in the past is what we need to try to get it onto right now. We got to get this going. I've really been getting a very strong message lately as things have been happening and unfolding, you know, around me in the world. I've really been getting a very strong message that things are moving much faster than Spirit intended it to. If you're familiar with my channel, I do readings, or have been doing readings from the Oakmen, which is a fairy energy again. I think it actually comes in as fairy energy. I think it's something much more galactic than that, but and the very first reading that I did from them talked about you know, what they were trying to say the first time they tried to come through. The first time they tried to come through a reading on my channel was an Aries reading about, I think, 3 weeks before pretty much the world shut down with the pandemic. So I did explore that because I wasn't, I'll be honest, the reading freaked me out a bit, to be honest. It was the triple ending. It was a triple ending reading. There was the Death card, the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Wands in the reading. So anyways, the message was this. It was the Tower. And this is the card in the deck that I used. Unknown Animal Spirit tarot deck. And what was significant here was this is the Emperor. So this was sort of being depicted as the higher points in society, as in the programs, everything that runs right now that keeps our society functioning, our world. There's 2 strikes on the head of this. There are 2 strikes here. I feel that we're approaching a second strike. I really do. And it's because we are still trying to make everything the way it was before. That is not what's supposed to happen right now. We're supposed to make the world a better place. And I think it's time that a lot of us admit that we have an awful lot of privilege and there's an awful lot of people who have nothing. Absolutely nothing. How can we help each other? That's what we need to do right now. So if you're feeling confused, this fairy comes to calm your emotions, right? What you should soften your grip on is confusion. Are you feeling confused about what's going on right now? Are you feeling confused because part of you is saying, yeah, we need things to get back to normal. I need it to be like this again. But then there's a part of you that kind of deep down inside is thinking, I don't know if this is the right course. I don't know what the answer is, but I don't know if this is right the course. And that's okay, because I don't know what the answer is either. But all I know is what I can do as an individual. And that's what this reading is about, is what you can do as an individual to try to make things better. And I think just by doing that, we create our new course, right? We start to create a new course, a new path, a new road, a new journey. The peace, so this is a reassurance that peace of mind is possible. This is not a time for peace of mind, obviously, right? Like, so because, you know, and yeah, I was not, like I said at the beginning of this is the 3rd time I tried to make this video because I was so upset. And I was, you know, and part of that too is my projection, because the individual that I was upset at is someone that I grew up listening to their music. This is a Canadian and I'm a Canadian. So, but this poor person, you know, I was upset because they have a platform to influence so many people, and this is such a negative way to do it. And B, too, because projecting what I thought of someone, where I need to look at myself and see what I can do, right? So that's where I need to step back and say, okay, where are we going to take this reading in this video? It's about what I can do. It's not so much about what someone else didn't do right, but it's or what I feel wasn't right, because everyone is absolutely entitled to their opinion. But you know, when your opinion, I've seen people praising this person for their tweet and saying, you know, it's exactly what I'm feeling. Do you know what that leads to? That leads to people getting hurt in the streets just because they're the same culture as someone that we think is responsible for what's going on with us. This is not a time for peace of mind. So, into the tarot. And I can tell you, I've been on the journey. I know what it's like to feel that you have to open your eyes and truly see what the cards are just flying at me right now. The cards are flying at me. You have to open your eyes and see if what you're doing is what you should be doing. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. So we're going to pull some tarot cards. Okay. I'm getting the other card. I knew I needed some time to sit with this about, you know, loosening your grip on, changing your concept of things. The Seven Star Sisters, I said I will read to you what these cards represent from the book, but my own interpretation of the message that's coming in right now is actually like, I feel like all of these little souls, light workers, star seeds, whatever you want to call them, people here for, you know, as humanity, for humanity, to try to make it a better place. They don't see each other. We need to start seeing each other. And we need to start working together. Like, we need to start shining our light together, almost as a team here. We're not strong enough as these individuals spread out. It's actually time right now to change our concept about this. We're really connected. We really are. And it's time to, it's almost like activate. Yeah. I just heard that cartoon. What was that cartoon? Was it the, something activate? Yeah, I know. It's kind of funny. Holy. Wow. Oh, wow, I love it. The Three of Cups is at the bottom of this deck. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Three different people, different cultures, different skin colors, different hair colors. Arms around each other, walking into the stars. This is not a time to identify our differences in each other. If anything, it's a time to celebrate those differences in each other, right? To celebrate those differences in each other. We really have to shine our light and stand up right now, because there's others that still want to separate all of us and still want us to find someone else to blame for what's going on instead of looking inside. So what you're being asked to do, remember we have purity and the golden children. So we have justice, temperance, and the Knight of Pentacles. Oh Lordy. Yeah, this is not something that's going to move quickly. Boy, with temperance and the Knight of Pentacles, I'm also getting the message that many of us will not even see the full results of what we're doing right now in this lifetime. It's literally just paving a road. And that's what so many in the past have done for us too, right? So many have. And that's what we're doing. We're not going to see all of the results for what it is that we're paving the roads for. Right now, we are creating with justice and temperance. We are creating the balance. You are being asked to create the balance here. But first, to do that, you do need to look within your heart to find the answers to the questions that you want. You are the only person that can answer any of your own questions. And that also means that, you know, you are the only one truly responsible for where you are in life. It's time to take on that responsibility and start. Look at, I love this temperance. There's a wing sitting behind there. Like every one of you, it's really time to be this earth angel. But to do that first, this takes time. And everyone's going to be on a different timeline. For when you feel you're waking up, for when you feel you are prepared to do what it is that we need to do, because it's all in the right order. Nothing is in the wrong order. If you start to shine your light because someone like me or someone else has kind of made you more aware of who you are and what your gifts are and what your abilities are and your talents and your light, you're now going to be getting ready to grow that and shine it for someone else and to wake someone else up and, you know, so on and so forth. And someone did that for me, and that's the cycle here. So some of you are going to be moving along a little faster. And I want to say, if you know what this is inside your heart, to find the answers to your questions, if you found that, if you have found your own inner child, the innocence and the tenderness within you, and you allow that to be vulnerable, knowing that nothing can hurt it. It is time to share these rare gifts, because we are paving this way, like I said, for this next generation. What world are we leaving for them? I believe it's the Aboriginals that have this really great, and I apologize if I don't get the quote quite right, but it is like, we do not own Earth. We do not own this planet. We are only leasing or renting it from our grandchildren, right? What are we leaving? What are we leaving? This is an opportunity to bring balance here. It really is an opportunity to bring balance here. There are so many things that we can see. And this is not just, you know, this is actually taking action. Taking action. Let's look at some of the things that are not working, and that has become so apparent right now. Across the globe, I mean, what we have set up for the elderly for care is so horrible. So many of us knew that it wasn't working. This doesn't seem right. Is this how you treat? You know, like, this isn't right. These are people that paved the way for us, and they're sitting in these horrible situations. And you know, now here in I'm not even sure if it's in all of Canada, at least in Ontario, they are talking about this should not be privatized anymore, because when it is privatized, it's just all about this. It's nothing about, you know, the true care that we're giving one another. So that is a step. And then we're looking at what is going on with our food cycles. Like so much food is not getting to market while so many people are going hungry. Like there's waste. This is an opportunity to take action, you know, like to see where you can really shine your light and step up, because there was no time like today to be the leader you wish you'd had. You know, nobody else is stepping up to do it. Maybe because that spot is waiting for you. That spot is waiting for you. But boy, this is justice and temperance here. My goodness. Talk about universal balances coming into play here. This is a slow process. There are things I'm getting with this Knight of Pentacles, that there are things, physical things to be left behind here on this journey. And only by doing that can this Knight of Pentacles actually speed up. The Knight of Pentacles is like the slowest knight in the deck. But here, this is like an indication. Like some of these things that we have in our world right now, these things need to be left behind. We're carrying too many things with us. This is what is slowing us down. The sun and the moon is very obvious here, right, too, in the Temperance card. So depending on what point your journey is here and really recognizing who you are and what gifts you have to share with the world, this is also a time for deep shadow work, like looking into parts of yourself that make you feel uncomfortable. And usually the trigger for that is somebody else making you feel uncomfortable, right? Which is kind of what started this whole thing today. And we can look at that on two ways. The musician who tweeted what they did today, that person obviously needs to do a little bit of shadow work. It really upset me. I still need to look inside, and I worked on that even before I did this video about, you know, releasing the ego, because there's always going to be things that trigger us. We're never going to be finished doing this work, particularly shadow work within ourselves, things that will always trigger us. But as we get better at looking inside, we also get better of quickly releasing that. And this is important because releasing this darker energy, and he holds the sun, holding the light, holding your light. You cannot hold your light if you don't look within, if you don't want to. If you don't want to look within and feel the pain and the disappointment and the hardship, if you don't want to scream at the universe, there's different ways of doing this. But once you do that, once you say, okay, I'm going to do that, and then you move through that process, then you start to recognize yourself in all of that process. And then that actually starts to make it easier because it allows you to make better choices. It's amazing how that works. So yeah. We're paving the way here. We've got to leave some things behind too, so that there are some things left for the generations coming behind us to pick up, right? If we're carrying it all, we're taking it all with us, then there's nothing behind for the golden children, for any children. I would want to say they're all golden children. Every one of them absolutely is. What you should embrace here is really being that leader. Really being that leader. The cards that we got. Ooh, this is interesting. The Hierophant, the Nine of Cups, and the Five of Cups. I find this quite interesting because the Nine of Cups is actually what came out under that Moon energy card last night when I was playing with this spread. What you should just soften your grip on, right, was, you know, your concept of things. Now, what came out clearly last night was that, you know, what you perceive as happiness. What you perceive are things that make you happy in this lifetime. To start softening your grip on that. to start changing your concept or allow it to change it. Once you soften your grip, you don't have to force yourself to change your concept. It just naturally changes on its own and becomes more a true aspect of you, of that inner child inside you. And so here it sits with, you know, embracing. And I think it's interesting because it's sitting beside the Five of Cups. These are so polar opposite, it's not even funny. The Nine of Cups is that happiness, that joy. But how intriguingly interesting that there's a big chest of gold sitting under her feet, right? A big chest of gold sitting under her feet. Part of that concept is definitely three-dimensional things in our life. Monetary accumulation. With the Hierophant sitting beside this as this moves across, the Hierophant is, and very strongly depicted in this deck, a deeper spiritual connection, a higher calling, and look at the stairs leading up to that. Look at the joy in this man's face, this happiness. You know why? Because even if the world moves you from the Nine of Cups to the Five of Cups, because it's going to happen. You know, it's probably happened before in your life. The Five of Cups is disappointment. It didn't work out the way I thought it would. Feels like a missed opportunity. You can just look at the difference here and feel the energy shift to know what it is, to know what the Five of Cups is. If it, you know, like I can't imagine that anyone has lived their life up to this point without going from the Nine of Cups to the Five of Cups. And right now, I think a lot of people are. But the thing here is, when you truly, truly find happiness within, it doesn't matter what cup you're in, you know? If you're in that Nine of Cups, if it goes into the Five of Cups. But my happiness is not dependent upon how those people are acting towards me. Or my happiness is not dependent upon if I can afford the next model of that car next year. My happiness is not dependent upon if I get that raise or promotion. My happiness is not dependent upon... My happiness is dependent upon what's inside me and my connection to who I am and what my purpose is really here. Because that's the difference. That's what leaves a footprint. That's what leaves a footprint and a mark here. Is you. Not the things that you buy and accumulate. That leaves a very bad footprint, actually. That leaves a very bad footprint. And look at this Five of Cups. Look at how she's sticking her foot in it. She's her own worst enemy, isn't she? She really is. She's her own worst enemy. Or she's realizing at some point, in a really odd way, her deeper self is coming through this card because she's draining stuff out of those cups. She's draining stuff out of those cups because those cups may have been part of a Nine of Cups, and now she's saying, you know what, I don't need that shit. She's, you know, you could say she's her own worst enemy, but it's part of the process. Part of the process of getting to that point where you realize the only cup that counts is the one inside. Wow. I just got like the word Holy Grail. There you go. There it is. Nowhere else to look. You can all stop now. It's that one cup inside. That seemed pretty profound. Whew. Okay, so be the leader you wish you had. So that's all about what you need to embrace here. You need to embrace. This is heavy, man. This is so heavy. We're all going to need a drink after this. Oh, I'm probably going to have to do multiplication with my son after this. See, it's always real. It's always real. Yeah. Kids are the best because they keep it real. You can never get too spiritual. You have to stay grounded, man. You have to stay. But that's why I always try to bring this down into a way that, how can you apply this to the real world? That's how you make a difference, you know? Kumbaya and meditating and all that stuff is great, but if you don't take your energy and your ideas and your inspirations and do something with them, that don't do shit for the world, man, and that's not why you're here. So, what you're being asked to soften your grip on, you know, we talked about this, the concepts. about what this world is. You know, if we're holding so strongly on to what it was in the past, because it needs to still be that, so that I can feel comfortable right now. My God, if we have created a society that can't kind of shut down and take a little time out for a month and a half, and everything falls apart, that's not very good. That's like a big red flag right there. Think about that. Think about, if you were in a relationship with someone and they were going through a really tough time and they said, you know what, I need to take some time. Like, who knows, maybe they lost someone close to them passed away, maybe they lost their job, like, who knows, even a friend, like a friend has just pulled away for a month and a half or 2 months because they needed to reboot the system, and y'all freaked out on them, like, come on, no, we got to get this going. That's not healthy. That's not a stable connection. Like, yeah, they need a break. They need a break. And the world and the society and a lot of us needed a break, but we can't do it because people are running out of money, and people are running out of food, and people are running out of mental health, and people are running out of happiness and stability. It doesn't seem like we've built something very good here, does it? Not at all. Like, it's not very long that things have been shut down and the whole thing is falling apart. Feels like we all got to go back now. But again, it feels like that's that second strike. I feel like there's, you know, I don't want to scare anybody, but it's coming out to me as a very strong message here. Like, we really need to shine our light. We all need to step up in any way that we can. I really feel like I'm putting myself out there. I feel like I'm putting myself out to criticism, to ridicule, to all sorts of stuff. But what else am I going to do? I can't. If I feel like I have to do this, I have to do it. Because if other people just sit when they feel like they need to do something that comes from their deeper self, or they're being guided to do it and they don't, that's not going to make a difference. It's not easy being the leader, being at the top, because everybody's going to criticize you. Nobody's going to be happy all the time, right? So the cards that came out here. Wow. What you should soften your grip on. Change your concept of. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Six of Cups, and we have the Lovers. Ooh! A lot of people not going to like this one. You know, the Wheel of Fortune too is karmic cycles, it's destiny, it's, you know, coming into what is sort of meant for you. And what you thought, because we have the Six of Cups, was like a soulmate card here. These are connections from your past too. And the Lovers are choices, and these are very intimate choices. With the Six of Cups and the Lovers, they're both number 6. I want to say, change your concept of the type of people, personalities, groups that you sort of thought were your destined. Or you didn't even think about it as destined. You're just following it. It's just, that's where I ended up. Because there's some changes here. There's some connections here that I feel need to be made. Right? We're not seeing each other. We need to start seeing each other. And seeing each other for our differences and celebrating it and loving it and not ridiculing it or being judgmental about that. Because this card is very, like, she got that dice around her neck. She's ready to play the game, baby. She is ready to play the game. Let's spin that wheel and see where it takes me. Because the universe would love to do that for you. The universe would really love to do that for you. But until we sort of release, or at least soften our grip on the idea of what our existence is, or what we've been doing up to this point, it's what's normal, right? Well, what the hell is normal? What is normal? Who's to decide what normal is? Because I don't think normal is working very well. I don't think the normal that we've come up with is working very well. Not when you can shut everything down for a month and a half and the whole system falls apart. That's not a good normal. No. I think there's too many people with too many gifts, abilities, ideas, inspirations, concepts. There's so many things that aren't being shared because people are afraid of being ridiculed, or people are afraid of being laughed at. People are afraid of being like shot or tackled. Like, it happens. So I kind of feel like there's a lot more crazy freaky people like me out there. And this is a wake-up call to start being crazy freaky people, because I think we might do a better job. Yeah, I think so, huh? I think we might do a better job. And then I think once everyone can see that being crazy freaky people, once you release, you know, having to feel like you need to follow this ebb and flow, I think some of the other people too might realize, I got some crazy freaky stuff in me too. And I got some great ideas and concepts. Some of them might work, some of them might not. Let's all share it and not feel, you know, nervous about it or scared about it, because the most important, I'm really getting this. This is really it. This is it. This is it. Be that leader. We don't have some really good ones right now. We need some better ones. All across the board. This is not one particular nation. This is not even just nation. This is like businesses, institutions, everything. Families, friendships, your dog, whatever. Yeah, it's all of them. I really feel strongly about this. I hope you guys can kind of get what the message is here. But yeah, and you know, I do think too that part of this is hinting to me, we're going to make some beautiful connections. The connections that we could be making could be so much more profound than the connections that we're making now, that we have been making. So much more profound. So much more depth. You know, if you think about what you could create as an individual with your crazy, freaky ideas, what if you combined those with other people who had crazy, freaky ideas, and so on and so forth? What a movement that could be across the world. And what beauty it could bring. I really do feel strongly that this is a time to kind of wake up and start doing that. I don't know, Spirit has kind of put me in a position of isolation and time and protection to do readings. Kind of funny, isn't it? The timing of all of it, to me. It really is. So I have to step up, so I'm doing it. I'm putting myself out there right now. I'm putting myself out there. I am sure that there will be the odd harsh comment, or people won't like the message. But I can't do anything about that. Again, I'm feeling called to step up, so I'm going to. And I know how hard it is. I really do. I know personally how hard it is. And it's scarier as shit. But once you do it enough, you can get here. You can get here. And it doesn't matter if you got 2 cups, 1 of cups, 3 cups, 4 cups, 5 of cups, 6, 7 of cups, 8 of cups, 9 of cups. It doesn't matter, because the only cup is the cup that it's inside. See? And she's about to figure that out. She's about to figure that out, because all these other cups. But look, what's behind there? That one cup. That one cup full of magic and color, man. Yeah. That one cup full of magic and color. That's all you need. Because that's the cup that shall sit inside her. And that's it, baby. That's it. So there you go. That's an interesting reading. I don't know how many times I'm going to do this. Whew. Okay. Thanks, guys. There you go. I put it out there. I was hesitant and I was worried about it, but I did it, and that's all I can do. And, you know, they do say, though, it's not easy. No, it is easy to do what you're comfortable with. It is easy to do what you think others want you to do. It is easy to do what you think won't ruffle feathers, right? That's easy. That is easy. I don't think we're supposed to do the easy thing right now. It's kind of what I'm being told. So, there you go. Thanks, guys. Until next time, please do be gentle with yourselves and each other. Bye.